One Zambia, One Nation. Welcome to ZANIS News. I'm your presenter, Mwangala Kapandula. Here are the headlines. 2023 Agri-Tech Expo key to increased food production. Masaiti Milimil smuggling racket cracked. 39,000 heads of cattle vaccinated. Government happy with utilization of social cash transfer funds. ZANIS News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema says the 2023 Agri-Tech Expo is an eye-opener for the country to increase food production and be able to export so as to curtail the smuggling of mealie meal. President Hichilema states that it is a mistake to underrate the role of the agriculture in improving the economy of the country. The president said this when he officially opens the 2023 Agri-Tech Expo in Chisamba district. The Agri-Tech Expo is the biggest forum where farmers share information on innovation and market linkages, among others. Details in this report.
President Hakainde Hichilema says the 2023 Agri-Tech Expo held in Chisamba is one of the solutions for the country to grow more food using modern technology. Speaking when he officially opened this year's expo, whose theme is Stay Ahead of the Industry, the president says it is a big mistake to underrate the role of agriculture in an economy.
We can do better. We can actually produce more, but produce more efficiently. It's not just producing. We should produce more efficiently. We shouldn't be having anyone tilling a hectare of maize and producing less than 2 hectares, as it is at the moment. That is wrong. And this Agri-Tech Expo is part of the answer to the low productivity levels. Yes, we know that husbandry is another. I'm talking of management. We know that genetics is another.
The president has also called for formalization of trade among the countries to reduce on smuggling of the staple food.
And not mourn, and we don't want to shoot anybody at those borders. We got our Congolese colleagues coming, they came last weekend. We discussed that we need to work together. One of the issues we need to do is to formalize the trade. Instead of trading through bush paths, let's formalize the trade. Let's know what our neighboring countries want. They place an order with us. We take that order back to the farmers.
Commerce and Trade Minister Chipoka Mulenga has called on manufacturers of mechanized equipment to produce machineries which are easy to use and maintained by small-scale farmers.
As the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, and on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, to work together and implement the calls that they have done. And also, let me also take an opportunity, Your Excellency, before I call upon you, to make a request to the farmers today, particularly the farmers in Central Province and here in Chisamba.
For ZANIS, I'm Simeon Mbewe in Chisamba District, Central Province.
Meanwhile, the Mumbwa District Farmers Association has praised the organizers of the 2023 Agri-Tech Expo for exposing emerging farmers to innovations and technologies to improve production in the country. Coordinator Claire Siangelele says this will improve women farmers who have difficulties in accessing agro-equipment to enhance production. She notes that many women who do not have the financial capacity to improve production have been linked to incentives such as loans. More in the following report.
Farmers and expo exhibitors have turned up in numbers at this year's Agri-Tech Expo in Chibombo district of Central Province. Mumbwa District Women Association members were present at the expo to appreciate and learn new agricultural techniques.
Where we can have knowledge exchange and also see the new technologies that are being introduced in the agriculture sector. This expo is a platform where we are also interested to check and also agree with some suppliers, because as Mumbai District Women Association will be undertaking projects in gardening. So we are interested to look at people who are providing solar solutions. We are also interested in looking at people who will be providing some water solutions like pumps, and we've been talking to a number of them so that we see that we can go into an agreement and then they can supply to Mumba District Women Association.
To the farmer bashonto.
We are small-scale farmers who have come to learn so that we can improve our livelihoods through farming.
Meanwhile, Salo Agro Sales and Irrigation Engineer now itemizes the types of irrigation equipment present.
Pumps type, we've got submersible pumps, we've got booster pumps, we've got also diesel pumps. All these brands are, there's Kioska, we've got Speroni, and different types of brands. So all these brands, farmers can access them through loan facilities with Risco, or they can access them through paying cash to Saro.
And Mumba District Education Board Secretary Paxina Mwewa has encouraged the schools to undertake agriculture seriously.
Of education, and we're encouraging our teachers and our learners to take agriculture science very serious. So we've come to learn and exchange ideas so that we are able to implement in our various schools. We have most of our members that are beneficiaries of the 20% of NAPSA, which has been is being given to them. So we encourage such to use their money wisely and take up agriculture and come and buy equipment and use their monies in a tangible way so that it is able to pay back.
Reporting for ZANIS, I am Kruger Siankuru in Chisamba District, Central Province.
Government has procured 250 mattresses and 150 bunker beds for the inmates at Namwala District Correctional Facility. The Correctional Service Facility Superintendent Mavuto Masuku informed the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs, Human Rights and Governance, which visited the facility to appreciate some challenges and successes that the mattresses and the beds have brought, but are yet to be distributed to the correctional facility. Details are in the following report.
An 8-member Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs, Human Rights and Governance was in Namwala District on a fact-finding mission on the operation of the Zambia Police Services, Department of Correctional Services and the judiciary in the district. The committee, which is chaired by Katombora Member of Parliament Dr. Clement Andaleki, toured Namwala Police Station, correctional facility and the judiciary infrastructure to appreciate challenges and successes in the operation of these service providers.
It's not intended to be a fault-finding mission. It is a fact-finding mission. We are not here to find faults in anybody, but the whole trip is intended to help government as we dispense justice, as we make the laws there, as we do whatever we do. We need to appreciate what is on the ground. And this is the reason why the lawmakers are here as a legislative wing.
Namwala District Commissioner Ephraim Shandavu shared with the committee some of the challenges that the police service is facing in its operations.
High cases here in Namwala which need to be attended to very quickly. Disappointed to hear that police facility, it just have 2 cells.
The Judiciary Department also highlighted its operational challenges.
In Mala, the infrastructure which is there is for someone, so the judiciary is just basically renting. Then of course, an infrastructure itself should be there, but also the issue of furniture. And then the number of cases disposed of at the close of the year, which is 2022, is 266 for criminal. And for civil, those disposed of are 90.
At the Correctional Service Facility, the committee heard the success story of how government is improving the living condition of inmates.
I'd share to say that mattresses have been procured and they are already in the province. However, they are kept at Monze, awaiting the completion of bunker beds. So, command did indicate to us to say once the bunker beds are done, that's when they'll give us the mattresses as well.
After this tour, the Legal Affairs, Human Rights and Governance Committee is expected to make recommendations to Parliament on how best to improve service delivery of the 3 departments in the district. While Linda Peary reporting for ZANIS News in Namala District of Southern Province.
Despite government's efforts to stop the illegal transportation of mealie meal to the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC, a scam has been unearthed in Masaiti district in Senior Chief Chiwala's chiefdom, where residents are using bicycles to illegally ferry the commodity. The situation has disheartened the district administration, which has since warned the community to stop the vice before the law visits them. Nkwachi Chanda brings us the rest of the story.
Some residents of Masaiti district have continued to defy government's directive of smuggling mealie meal to the Democratic Republic of Congo. This situation has saddened Masaiti District Commissioner Eni Matutu, who conducted an on-spot check within Chiwala Chiefdom to verify the situation after she got a tip-off over the vice. The district commissioner's undertaking led to the discovery of people taking up the use of bicycles to smuggle the staple food out of the country.
This is too much.
This is smuggling. From now on, makwatenda lama. Ndala meshashana. Kuni meshuku. Pankonko tapaina ngumu pankonko lapo. Pakalimba tapaina ngumu hapo. Pachunga tapaina ngumu pamushimanye tapaina ngumu. Imana wamwishire boda imwe. Ngamwapwisha obunga bonse mwatwala ku Congo. Era ntayelekere enfula. Mutimfya buteko. Mutimfya bakapokola. Mutimfya ZANIS. Mundi bantu bashana bamusebanya.
Some community members are not happy with the issue of smuggling within Chiwala. Meanwhile, Senior Chief Chiwala said there's need for government to reinforce on the number of security officers manning the area to help stop the smuggling going on in his chiefdom. Nkwachi Chanda, ZANIS, Masaiti District, Copperbelt Province.
And Tovin Ngombe reports that Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has announced that the security wings through the Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA have handed over 5,000 bags of smuggled mealie meal to the provincial administration. Mr. Matambo has since thanked the security wings for working hard to reduce smuggling of the country's staple food to the Democratic Republic of Congo on the Copperbelt.
More than 45,000 bags of mealie meal and 70 vehicles have been impounded on the Copperbelt since the fight against smuggling was put in place. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo announced the success scored in combating the vice of smuggling, which has caused shortages of mealie meal, today at a press briefing in Ndola.
The mealie meal which is donated via ZRA, it cannot be sought on the market from the advice we have been given. They are donating to the provincial administration, which in turn will also donate to the institutions such as the hospitals, such as boarding schools, such as orphanage where they will need the same mealie meal. In short, the provincial administration will identify places where this mealie meal will be donated and transparently. And actually, I would want the same security wing who have worked so hard to impound the same mealie meal to be part of the exercise wherever this mealie meal will be donated, so that there's transparency.
Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo is also happy with the works of the security wings.
We are here to witness the handing over of 5,000 plus bags of mealie meal that Zambia National Service confiscated, handed over to Zambia Revenue Authority
and subsequently donated to provincial administration. So
the minister also urged the people to avoid panic buying as the situation of mealie meal is normalizing on the copper belt. Tovini Ngombe, ZANIS, Ndola.
Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata says mealie meal has continued to be available in all the locations in Lusaka district. Join Mwenje Mataka with the rest of the story.
Availability of mealie meal on the markets in Lusaka has continued to be stable following measures put in place by the government to stabilize the supply of the commodity on the market. Recently, millers in Lusaka assured government that they will continue to produce more mealie meal.
In Lusaka province, I can assure you that we have enough mealie meal here in Lusaka city and around the province. More so, I did discuss with Zambia National Service to supply mealie meal to the outskirts of Lusaka, to places like Fusa and Luangwa.
Mr. Kamalata has told the media in Lusaka that prices of mealie meal in Lusaka has gone down compared to the cost a few weeks ago.
And here the mealie meal is going at how much? A roller meal is going at 155. And you can see 152. This is roll. And then we have breakfast there, it is going at 170. Yes, which is within the range.
And officially opening Chopi's Twikatane Mall, Mr. Kamalata said government is committed to create more jobs in various sectors of the economy.
The new Dawn government of the Republic of Zambia places great emphasis on economic stimulation via investment in key sectors which will directly benefit communities and the country.
We want to work with our communities to ensure that as we grow, you are also growing. So we are calling, our call of action is our local suppliers in the areas should be able to supply us with the products that we sell in Choppies.
Jamataka, reporting for ZANIS News in Lusaka.
Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mayenga Kabika has commended women and men in the country for coming up in numbers to report gender-based violence cases. Ms. Kabika said the move will help reduce GBV cases. The PS said this today during the handover of a vehicle by the European Union, EU, meant to ease the implementation of sexual gender-based violence programs in the country. Details in this report.
The European Union has handed over this vehicle to the Gender Division to help ease the implementation of sexual gender-based violence programs in the country. The SGBV programs, being conducted in 24 districts of Luapula and northern provinces, are funded by the European Union at a cost of 25 million euros. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mayenga Kabika received the vehicle on behalf of government and commended the citizenry for reporting GBV cases.
I am very happy with the situation because people are actually coming out to report. We are doing quite a lot of sensitization through cultural resetting. Like way back, in most cases you'd find that people were very shy to go and report GBV cases. But now with the sensitization that we are doing, people are now open-minded, they're not shy anymore. Even men are no longer shy. We have a lot of cases being reported by men as well who are abused.
The PS then proceeded to officiate at the 4th Steering Committee meeting of the Natwampane program on sexual and gender-based violence, preventive and response.
The project has helped reduce levels of sexual gender-based violence in Luapula and northern provinces through increased access in response support services for the survivors and working towards the prevention of sexual gender-based violence by putting in place advocacy and sensitization programs in communities.
The first 2 years of Net1 Connect focused on the opening of the OICs
and the capacity building of the service providers, as well as setting the groundwork for prevention of GBV and encouraging help seekers' behaviors from those that have experienced.
Ministry of Finance and International Cooperation, Permanent Secretary, Economic Management and Finance, ZANIS Chisenda, states the importance of this program.
The project has made significant investments towards strengthening of political and system, institutional and human capacities, coordination, awareness and education for efficient and effective prevention and response.
The SGBV program, named Natwampane, will come to an end this December, and this vehicle is meant to help accelerate the fight against sexual gender-based violence in the country. Jen Simalumba, ZANIS, in Lusaka.
The Department of Livestock Development in Pemba District has vaccinated over 39,000 heads of cattle against the foot and mouth disease. The vaccination campaign is meant to prevent a loss of animals to the foot and mouth disease, which is contagious, and if no interventions are made, the disease can wipe out a huge population of cattle. Details in the following report.
Livestock farming is the source of livelihoods for most farmers in Southern Province, and the health of these animals is therefore very important to the survival of the farmers and their families. The outbreak of N disease poses a threat to their livelihoods, and the government is responsible to vaccinate the cattle against foot and mouth disease on time has elated the farmers.
Umurimo ngo igisi ububabirize w'abanyama ng'ombe kumarwazari utoswaya araitwa kuti foot and mouth urumende yakariaba kuti tugwahe kutugwaira yakabotoka botu akatusirikira kutugwabirira free kawina mari.
Over 39,000 heads of cattle have been vaccinated in Pemba district.
So this quarter or this year we have vaccinated 39,603 bovines, that is cattle, against FMD.
Meanwhile, farmers are concerned with the inadequate source of water for the animals and now appealing for government to build a dam in the area.
Uromba kwa kuti imenda ari shupido uno twasika be muri mu August ngatwenda musi nzomora utariri ku 12 kilometers uya ukunyuha menda no twari kuromba hurumende kamba kuti muzezo wa madamu aba tukwa head damu mujogo muno mumuzoka wati.
Animals in our district face a lot of challenges in terms of watering points because the dams are situated distantly situated, so farmers have to trek their animals to these dams to drink or to water them. So that's a very big, huge problem with our farmers.
Costa Kimdenda, ZANIS, in Pemba District, Southern Province.
Chirundu Member of Parliament Douglas Siyakalima says President Hakainde Hichilema is using the Constituency Development Fund CDF to enhance community development, especially in rural areas. Mr. Siyakalima, who is also Minister of Education, said this when he presented checks worth over 2.1 million kwacha to various beneficiaries that applied for loans under the 2022 CDF today in Chirundu District. Government has expressed happiness with the way the social cash transfer beneficiaries in Luwingu District are utilizing the funds. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape, who visited some beneficiaries in Luwingu, says many beneficiaries have used the funds prudently to invest in agriculture and livestock, while others have built houses. Here's a report by Taonga Nkoma.
They are being called one by one to receive their bi-monthly social cash transfer payment for March and April 2023. These are some of the beneficiaries of the social cash transfer program drawn from different community welfare assistance committees, CWACs, of Lupososhi District. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape, was on hand to witness and monitor the payment exercise from various pay points.
Important too for this government to support citizens, not just the citizens living with disability, but all the people, especially in the rural areas who alleviate, especially the rural poverty. So for us, we take this as an important activity to ensure that the resources that this government is releasing is getting to the people.
Nelson Nyango is the director in the Department of Social Welfare.
So 1,027,000 households. This is the number that we hit as of end of December 2022. But for 2023, we intend to scale up this figure to 1,350,000 thereof by the end of 2023.
Beneficiaries are elated with the gesture.
Fwewe njinge emyaka fwewe yisukirire natumona ati nachangukako imibombere pantu mumpanga tuleya twaletwala mu abantu baletwafuwa kubombe nchito sha kutema.
Regina Kolala, who has been on the program for some time, narrates how the money has been helping her.
Nafolenda lama mukainda kwa abantu firafine wabapera ko baya kutipira ko ekisebe nokukuntirako bakukomerako nefirindi elo wamba okuli elo nokwafuirisha kamwishikulu kene ako kene nakwata kakashitira uniform fyakufwala fyapanganda.
Taonga Nkoma for ZANIS in Lupososhi district.
Finally, a former church congregant to the late former First President Kenneth Kaunda has called on Zambians to commemorate the KK Day, which falls on 28th April with respect and in harmony. Watson Lombe, a member of the United Church of Zambia UCZ at Luwa Mission in Chinsali district, says the importance of this day cannot be overemphasized due to the great sacrifices that the late leader made for the country. Miriam Kumwenda now reports.
As the country will be commemorating the KK Day in honor of the fallen hero, late Republican President Kenneth Kaunda, for his immense contribution to Mother Zambia, a church congregant to Dr. Kaunda at the United Church of Zambia Luwa Mission in Chinsali district has remembered him as a unifier.
The struggle for this independence, it was not an easy thing. It was not as simple as at the moment when people are just talking and then they get in somewhere. But at that time it was a big risk for someone to be in politics. They lost employment, they lost what?
Being his birthplace, Luwa Mission still holds great memories of him through his works at the church building.
They brought those people to renovate the church. They fumigated underneath to kill ants. They put new roof up now. The last it's 83, it's 40 years now. After that, it is still standing. So he contributed a lot to our church here in 1983.
Mr. Lombe, who played musical instruments with the late President Kaunda, shares other memories of him.
In 1985, after retirement, is when I came much more closer to KK. Each Christmas he used to come home. I was playing the piano in the church. I can play in the church, and after church we go to his farm, start singing.
Miriam Kumwenda reporting for ZANIS in Chinsali, Mchinga Province.
Thank you, Miriam, for that report, and that item wraps up ZANIS News. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. 2023 Agri-Tech Expo key to increased food production. Masaiti Milimil smuggling racket cracked. 39,000 heads of cattle vaccinated. Government happy with utilization of social cash transfer funds. That's all we had for you on the ZANIS News Desk. Do make a date with us next time. Thank you for watching. On behalf of the production team, this has been Mwangala Kapandola.